Hello everyone, my name is Zachariah Soa and we're going to be going over this 3D model of the layers of the skin and discussing some of the accessory functions that are located within the layers of the skin. So here we're going to start with the stratum corneum. What this is the actual outside layer of the epidermis, the actual thin layer that comes in contact with the outside world. So this is literally the barrier between the inside of your body and outside world factors. Moving on down, then you have the actual epidermis layer, which is a thin outer layer of the skin that's visible to the eye and works to provide protection to the body. It doesn't contain any blood vessels, so it's dependent on the dermis just below it to provide access to nutrients and such. Below that you have the dermis, which is the thickest layer of the skin, filled with a matrix of collagen and elastin proteins that provide support, flexibility, and resilience. Dermis contains nerve endings, which we have here all throughout, the blood vessels and veins that we have here. It also contains the sudiferous or the sweat glands. Take a closer look here. And there's also the hair follicles here. Primary function of the dermis is to cushion the body from stress and strain and also provide the elasticity to the skin, a sense of touch and heat. Interesting here, the hair follicles made up of 20 different cell types, each with distinct functions. The hair follicle regulates the hair growth via a complex interaction between hormones, neuropeptides, and immune cells. If we delve back in here, we have these little fan-shaped smooth muscles that are associated with the base of each hair. And what they do is when the body surface is chilled or comes in contact with cold, they contract. And what that does is it makes the hairs on the skin stand erect, and also compressing an oil gland above each muscle, and that produces what we know as goosebumps. And then coming on down, you have the hypodermis. It's also the subcutaneous layer of the skin, and it serves to connect the skin to the underlying fascia or fibrous tissue. This layer helps insulate and protect the internal organs and also stores fat for future use. The hypodermis can vary in thickness throughout the body and between different individuals. Doesn't really show much here as far as anything underneath the actual fat or the adipose tissue, but that is where it is stored for later use as in the forms of energy. And we also have, once we get down in here, these little interesting guys. Krauss end bulbs. It's nerve terminals that are consisted of a laminated capsule of connective tissue enclosing the terminal. These are generally believed to be sensitive to touch and pressure. You can see there's a lot of nerves in here that is going to give us a lot of touch and response to stimuli. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, but it breaks down into a few layers, and it's very interesting once you kind of get in there and see that it's not just a bundle of a bunch of crazy stuff going on. Everything serves its own purpose. And I hope you had a good time spending a few minutes going over this with me and talking about the layers of our skin. Thank you. Take care.